Okay, now I want to talk to all of you about what it's like to be an Asian wannabe, sorry. It's horrible. At the start, it's like, oh, this is kind of cute, I like this, and, you know, it's fun at first. I made the biggest mistake of my life by getting really bored on YouTube and thought, what should I do? And I decided that I'd search up some Japanese pop bands of everything I should do. So I typed it in, I looked at this twin duet thing, doing this little dance song routine thing. It was really nice. I mean, at first I thought, oh, this is quite amusing, I better show everyone. And I did show everyone, and we all had a little chuckle, and then I found myself looking at it in between doing Facebook and Twitter or something. I thought, I'll just have another look. And suddenly I catched myself dancing a little to it and body popping, and before I knew it, I was getting really into it. So after that I thought, okay, this must be a little phase thing, I'll stop. And then soon after that I was typing in new bands, and I was starting to remember songs and starting to look at bands. I don't know if you know them. W. I was starting to get into that, and I loved it. And suddenly I had an obsession with this Japanese pop singer called Chuzi Nozomi. I don't even know who that is anymore, but I did, and I really got onto that. Suddenly I was looking up at AKB48 and things like that. I was really getting into this, and then before I knew it, I was starting to show people bands and stuff, and I pretended I thought it was funny. It's like, yeah, look at this, it's so funny. And while they were going, oh, to it, I was standing there going, oh, I fucking love this song. But, yeah. And then suddenly, oh, it was getting terrible after that. I started looking at other Asian people in my school, all the Filipinos, and I remember I looked at them and thought, those lucky bitches. I was getting really jealous of them, like these two people. I can't mention their names because, I don't know, legal things. Anyway, so I was getting really jealous of them, like in French and stuff. They were doing Asian things. I just looked at them like, and it was really unfair. And yeah, so after that, then I started looking up Asia and stuff, and I sort of wanted to move to Japan, and I got sort of obsessed, and I was looking at their history, and I started acting like them. Like suddenly when people were taking pictures, I'd suddenly go in them, and I'd greet people with "Konnichiwa" or "Ohayo," which means good morning, by the way. And I started learning Japanese. I started writing in Japanese. I started dancing like a Japanese schoolgirl, if anything. Like I'd start listening to my music and going stuff like that. It was really exciting. And then I started listening to K-pop. So I started listening to Super Junior and FX and so on. It was getting a bit out of hand, and yeah, I finally stopped. I finally got out of the obsession which I had for 2 years. It was horrible, and oh, it was dreadful. I was getting so jealous of these Asians. Like, I'd find myself glaring at them while they weren't looking at me, thinking, God, I wish I was Asian. And yeah, some people started calling me Jappy. Embarrassing. And I started straightening my hair and making it look all Japanese. I started wearing Japanese clothes when I wanted to. I was even drawing manga in my free time. I started reading it too. Got really out of hand. I think I even tried to name my dog Pikachu. No. I got out of that. Anyway, I finally got out of that obsession, and if you're starting to get into Asian stuff and you're not Asian, get out of it. It's a terrible, terrible obsession. It's fun at start. It makes you all positive, don't get me wrong, but very fast you become jealous, you become annoyed, and people know you as that wannabe who wants to be an Asian. People would look at you and go, oh, look at him, he thinks he's Asian, but he's as white as snow. It's very embarrassing. So if you're starting to become one, don't. Stop now. Listen to music from your country and don't become a wannabe. It's a dead-end obsession and it ends in tears, and don't do it. Just take my advice. Josh out.